looked really pretty. Obviously, you can't see the colour just now, but I thought the cover looked really intriguing. And obviously, like, I knew it was going to be a romance book, a love story. The reviews seemed quite good, so I thought, why not? I'll try it. And the Kindle was quite cheap. The Kindle edition was cheaper than buying the actual physical book. I have learned or realised that I much prefer a book. I don't know, I don't really like reading on the Kindle. I don't feel excited reading on the Kindle. So I keep tapping and pressing buttons and it just keeps jumping to different pages. But I've showed you the cover, so I'm just going to tap on this now. But yeah, as I was saying, I don't really like reading on the Kindle. I understand that it's a hell of a lot more convenient than having so many books. My husband actually bought this Kindle, so he uses it more than me, but I suppose it's handy to have if you are someone who is starting to get into reading books or reads a lot, because sometimes when you want to read a book, you know, you get them cheaper on the Kindle. But anyway, I'm rambling on. Yeah, so this book, You've Reached Sam, it's a story about, it's a YA romance, which I've recently learned means like a young adult romance. So it's a story about teenagers who fall in love and her boyfriend dies. So it's a story about how Julie, her name's Julie, kind of deals with that, and then she basically decides to call her dead boyfriend's phone, obviously not thinking that anything would really happen, but she ends up getting a second chance to talk to him again, like to hear his voice one last time. I'm just reading off here. So that's like basically the story without giving away details, but I feel like that's pretty much told you the story, but it says it here, so yeah. So I kind of thought that sounds kind of sweet, and I don't know, maybe this could be like a book that might make me cry, I don't know. But yeah, I gotta be honest, and I don't know if this has got to do with reading it on the Kindle, but I feel like it was good, but it wasn't amazing. I think in my head I was like, I'm glad I didn't buy the book, like the physical copy. I'm glad I only spent like, I don't know, it was on Kindle for like £2. So I was like, you know, I'm not really losing out on anything, even if I didn't like the book. It was a nice book. It wasn't like something that I was like, right, I don't even want to finish it, you know, it wasn't like that at all. But it wasn't like, oh wow, I really love this book. So, if you are someone who loves your romance, loves love stories and YA romance, and just want something a bit different, a bit fresh, then actually I would recommend it to you. If I was to rate it, I would say maybe 3 out of 5. Because, like I said, you know, it's still a good book, and I don't want to bash it or anything. It is a good book. I actually just really loved the cover of it. But yeah, this was a book that I just bought without really hearing anyone talk about it. So this was, I guess you could say, almost like a blind buy. Like, you know how you say that about perfumes, because I'd not heard anyone recommend it or talk about it. It was just one that I stumbled across on Amazon and decided to give it a try. But yeah, like I said, I probably won't really reach for books on the Kindle that much unless it's ridiculously cheaper than the actual book. But I'm glad I still have the Kindle, because like I said, it's really handy to have. I don't think I even did any proper tapping with this, but okay, I'm gonna try only saw this mentioned on a YouTube short, so I only seen this once. And I think the short was mentioning that it was going to be made into a movie, although I don't know how true that is. But I thought if a book's getting made into a movie, it's clearly a popular book and it's done well. So I'm going to give it a go. And that book is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. Tomorrow, tomorrow, and tomorrow. This, as you can tell by the big smile on my face, this is probably my favourite book. This is my favourite book. I loved this book so much. I thoroughly enjoyed reading this book. And again, it's not one that I've actually heard anyone talk about. Like I said, I only quickly seen it mentioned on a YouTube short, I think, but this had so many reviews on Amazon, and I think it was on offer, so I was like, I'm buying it and I'm gonna give it a shot, and I'm so glad I did. So I took this on holiday along with the other books, so I probably read this one over a span of 5 days. Although the first day I didn't read much of it because we were still kind of settling in and stuff. But I'm gonna read the back of this book. So this one, sorry, is Tomorrow, Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin, or Gabrielle Zevin, I'm not sure. Sunday, #1 Sunday Times bestseller. Now, there is a different cover for this book. I think this is maybe the newest cover, or I don't know if this cover is the one that's sold in the UK. I don't know. But I know there's a different edition for this book, in case you're wondering why it looks different. So let's read the back. This is the story of Sam and Sadie. It's not a romance, but it's about love. When Sam catches sight of Sadie, I promise I can read, okay? When Sam catches sight of Sadie at a crowded train station one morning, he is catapulted straight back to childhood and the hours they spend immersed in playing games. Their spark is instantly reignited and sets off a creative collaboration that will make them superstars. It is the 90s and anything is possible. What comes next is a decades-long tale of friendship and rivalry, fame and art, betrayal and tragedy, perfect worlds and imperfect ones, and above all, our need to connect, to be loved, and to love. Okay, so okay, I don't want to give this one away either, because this one I 100% recommend you read it. Oh, yeah. I'm clearly passionate about it. It was just really exciting, and it made me so happy that I was reading a book that I was genuinely, like, loving, and I was like, I want to pick this back up and read it. Like, I enjoyed it so much. And I don't know if it was like, you know, sitting by the pool reading the book, the whole vibe, the weather was great. I was on holiday, maybe that's why I was like, I'm enjoying this. But you know, that obviously was a nice environment to be reading this book in, but nonetheless, the book deserves 5 stars. 5 stars, definitely 5 stars for this book. And I'm so happy that I have a book that I'm like, you know what, this is my favourite. I love this book. And I would read it again. So Sam and Sadie basically or even really, it follows their friendship over a span of decades and how the ups and downs of their friendship, and basically how they kind of lose touch, come back into touch, then lose touch, then come back into touch. And like the book says, it's not a romance book, but it is about love, and that's the best way to describe it, because that's exactly what it is. It's, in some parts of the book you're like, oh, it's so nice, and in other parts you're like, oh, this is so frustrating, like just following their relationship. But they basically get into, like, create a business together, where they create video games. So they basically bonded with each other at a very young age over playing video games, and then decades later they make a video game together and then start a business together. And it's basically a story that follows how they evolve the older they get, how their friendship evolves, how their relationships evolve, how their business evolves. And it's just, that's me trying to give a very vague description of it without telling the story, because I don't want to tell the story. I want whoever wants to read it can read it. I don't want to spoil it. But it's just so well written. I really enjoyed the writing of the book because it was really easy to follow, easy to read, and there were some funny parts in it, which I also love. I love that the book made me laugh multiple times, because that doesn't really happen a lot. It was quite emotional, although I don't think I cried in this book, but I've deeply felt for the characters, for the friendship, for their relationships. Yeah, it was such a good book. Like, I cannot say enough good things about it. I definitely want to read another book from this author now, because, like I said, I like the writing style and I love the story. It's very different, the story. Like I said, it's about video games in the 90s. Like, that just sounded very intriguing to me in the first place. And the fact that it said it's not a romance, but it's about love. So I was like, yeah, I think this is going to be something that I like. But I really loved learning about the video games and stuff. Like, the fact that it was about the friendship, but then there was this whole different aspect of the book. Yeah. Okay, I'm talking a lot about this one, but you can tell this is my favorite. Like, I love this book. Love it, love it, love it. Please read it. It's so good. So yeah, that's what it looks like. Let's do some tapping with it. It's like a nice it's kind of like, it's because they're still really young. Like, this again is a YA romance. They are teenagers, a teenage love story, and I think because they're so young, you feel like, oh my god, like that is a lot to deal with and go through at a very young age. But this was such a sweet book, and it was very emotional. I got recommended this one. I didn't hear anyone talk about it. Someone in my family read this, and she said it made her cry. Because I did ask, have you read something that made you cry? I want a book to make me cry, and this one did that. So yeah, this one is, how much is this book? Maybe 350 pages, approximately. I read this book in about a day and a half. Yeah, a day and a half. Or I could have read this book in one day, but I read it in a day. I read it over 2 days, but but it was like one kind of full day and then half a day, so yeah, a day and a half. Getting so specific. But, yeah, this is a really nice book. I 100% recommend this, 5 stars as well. So I did think I had a good reading month with these books, and I'm so glad that I took both with me on holiday as well, that I did manage to get through a monthly, what I read every month video. I probably won't realistically, but I would like to continue doing these types of videos just occasionally on my channel. I know book content's really popular right now, and I personally really love it, and obviously I would say like I'm really into reading right now, so, and I just love like really gentle book tapping, even just in the background. I love it. It's funny because even when I was reading the book, I noticed I was sitting there tapping on the book, and I'm like, I need to stop.